All right, let's do it, guys. Back into action here. Um, going to reshare the link. Probably just do this here. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Cool. Back in action here. Um, cool. So where we left off, I was trying to draw. We're trying to draw out the chainsaw. Let me just get my So the XP pen comes with like a little glove thing that you can put on your hand, and it just helps so your palm doesn't stick to your tablet. Helps you go across nice and smooth, you know. That's better. Smooth like butter. So I was looking at the reference, and the actual Chainsaw Man kind of has something like this. Probably something like that, and then it kind of comes down or something. And then the chainsaw comes out, like right here or something like that. I'm just drawing on the side, the bottom jaw, trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out like the mechanics of this thing, like how it functions, like what makes logical sense for this, you know. So I'm just trying to see how they portray it. In other words, bottom has like a flat piece. And again, it doesn't, I'm not necessarily going to make it just like that. It's a little blurry. I don't think there's much I can take from this. Really, the only thing I could really take from this is probably the mood and maybe like the dark vibe or something. Then again, I probably could have just took anything like Resident Evil or something else for that matter. Alright, let me figure out how we're going to do this here. So this part's kind of exposed, right? And they kind of show the inner workings. This is the inner workings. But then this part on the pulley system is pretty much covered up. Which is the lower jaw. So I wonder kind of like that shape a little bit. I don't know if it's going to work for this, but I do kind of like that shape. And I wonder, would it encompass the whole thing, and then we could just see like the bottom part? Probably not. It's not in perspective that way. We could probably just follow it through, make it end right here. Then it kind of follows that arch, and we just erase out this line here, and then we go back to our pencil. I honestly, in Clip Studio Paint, I do anything but paint in this program. I like the pencil tool in it. I'm like the inks really, but I don't really. I never do like a full color anything in it before. I'm not saying you can't do it. It just never did it, you know. So we can follow through a little bit. Like, we know this is pretty much the other portion of the mouth. I think that would work in perspective. You know, you don't have to get too caught up in perspective because we're doing it in 3D, and 3D gives us perspective. So this is really just to help us. This is to help train my brain. So when I get into 3D, I know, hey, I'm making a piece like this. You know, I would make this whole one big piece, you know, and then kind of like slice it down a little bit. And then this motor here be another piece. This would be a piece. This would be a piece. This would be another piece. This would be another piece. The chainsaw, the blade be one piece. The blade would probably be I'd probably make the blade like like if this was the top of the blade, it would probably be something like this. And just think like this is the blade itself, and all this is kind of dark in here, but then, you know, the chainsaw pieces come out from inside here, so this would be another piece. So it's kind of like they're sandwiched, right? Like the spiky blade parts kind of sandwiched in between these blades in a sense. But yeah, hopefully that kind of makes sense for that. So let me just try to figure out the rest of the mechanical parts here. And I just kind of want to loosely kind of draw, trying to follow like a, you know, I just want to kind of loosely follow something here. You know, like if this was it, right? This is kind of like, boom, this is like the neck, right? Because that's pretty much what we're working on. We're just working on the neck right now. And I'm trying to think. I want to do the piston. So if this was a human head, you know, this would kind of be the ear. And then right here, you would have that big sternomastoid that goes behind the ear right there. So it kind of makes that kind of shape there. Right, so it's something like this. I think, like I said, I think the trickiest part in all this is going to be figuring out how do we merge the flesh with the mechanical elements. And flesh is nothing more than stretchy. Our skin's very elastic, so you can think of when you stretch something out like saran wrap in a sense. And that's kind of how we're going to treat, I mean, that's what I hope. That's how we're going to try to treat the skin for this. and I want, like I said, I want his button down shirt. I want him to have the button down shirt on, so you kind of be like, you know, there's a human under there. You know, but you know something's up, right? You know, he's not quite human. He's something. He's kind of a mixture of both, right? He's human, and he's a chainsaw. He's Chainsaw Man. So I don't know. So he'll have this shirt. He'll kind of come down like that or whatever, and I'm wondering. I think we could still do the tie. Like I think we can leave his shirt open because I want to show. Like I said, I want to show his torso area. You know, like his torso. You know, because he has that kind of that thing that he pulls in his chest or whatever. And so his shirt's probably going to cover about maybe this much. I'm thinking of his body. So, and I still want him I do want him to still kind of have the tie on, but I don't want it to I don't want it to take away from this. So maybe the tie's kind of like off to the side here, still around his neck. Then he has the pull lever that transforms him into the Chainsaw Man, and he kind of has that hole in his chest here where he kind of pulls it out from. You know, and then he has his abs or whatever, but it's not really going to be that musculature, but you know. So something like that. And then from the front view, we got kind of more of the same going on. It'll kind of be something like that, and then his chainsaw in the front. And then he has those teeth. In a nutshell. And then maybe he has a motor here too that sticks out, I don't know. Pulley system. Goes to his jaw. Pulley system. Goes to his jaw, something like that, and then you got that neck muscle here. So yeah, actually, because of this angle, we can't do too much here. If I can pull this back maybe a little more. I don't think that this part's not really too important right now. You know, but yeah, it'd pretty much be something like that. I think the handle's like this. I think they did the handle backwards, but that's fine. Let's work back on this piece here. So cool. So let me pull up some reference of pistons. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of now too? That this kind of reminds me of is like an excavator. I wonder if I look up an excavator, might be able to get some good reference. His pieces remind me of like how an excavator is in a way. So I might be able to do a version where his mouthpieces are kind of like an excavator. Because I tend to make a few different versions before we actually sculpt. You know, we're just trying to figure things out still. So it's not an excavator. It's a Man, what are the things that I could have sworn there's one that has like two? Probably, is it a crane? It's probably a crane. Isn't a crane the one that has the two? No, crane just has that, right? So what is a construction vehicle? Construction vehicles, maybe? I'm drawing a blank. Excavator is it then? It has to be. I could have swore it had two, like two things, like where it kind of clamps down on things, but I could be wrong. Oh, you know what? Here. Different types of construction trucks. Let me see. Maybe this might have it. Not helpful. Okay. Tractor, digger, excavator. What's this? Maybe scraper, digger. Digger construction vehicle. It's fine. I don't want to get caught up on it. It's kind of has some cool shapes in it. This is like construction truck names. Okay, maybe this might help me. Excavator, dump truck loader. No, these are kind of basic stuff. Alright, I'm not sweating it, man. I could be here all day trying to find the right reference. There's pistons. There's not much going on there. This could be cool to kind of incorporate in there. Might make it too busy though, too. And it'll take away from the overall silhouette. So maybe I'll do something different here. What if we had something here? I want to do kind of like that pistons, but like a flexible piston. And I want it to follow the curvature of that sternomastoid. I don't know if that's going to work or not. And then at the bottom, we can have it like that. Like it's kind of bolted into him maybe. But at the same time, I'm trying to think about, you know, the functionality of it. I wonder if I make this like this. It looks interesting. It doesn't really look like, pistons or anything, so Maybe I'll throw that somewhere else. But I do like that. I do kind of like that. But it just, I really want to make it functional, man. I think that's really my end goal here. How to make these pieces functional. I'm going to try to see if I can connect something here. What if there's like another piece underneath, or maybe that's in the middle? So this piece here, this would be the fusion to the skin. So this is where his skin would actually be. So here's his skin. And then we have, it's pulling, it's kind of draping into the mechanical pieces. Maybe, you know, maybe we have some skin that gets wrapped into here. So his skin's kind of like wrapping into that now. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's teeth in what do you call it, in the he literally has teeth, like sharp teeth, and a tongue. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to handle that, if I'm going to make it teeth as well or not. This actually kind of looks like a bulldozer because it looks multi-layered, so it's kind of cool. Also, I don't know about the eye. Like this is the part where the glow kind of comes, like it's alive, like pew, pew, pew. So I don't know what I'm going to do on that part. If I might just keep it the same. I mean, you know, if I keep it the same, it's just, this is pretty much how it is, to stay true to, you know, I may keep it, I'm not sure. Let me erase it though. And it's kind of a part I gotta kind of play around with, I think. Try to see what's, you know, what looks better there. This part's more flat. So in anime, it literally cuts down to the bottom. So let me, and just erase out this piece here. That's pretty much how it is, something like that. It's kind of cool. I don't know if I want it so big. I think that's my only pet peeve with it. Let me try it one more. I'm gonna try it one more time and if we did something like that. I may model some of this in 3ds Max because some of the pieces are a little bit more complex, and ZBrush for me is good, but I honestly can't do everything in ZBrush personally. And I think I'm just used to doing certain things in other programs, so it's just the way it is, I think, you know. So yeah, these are pretty much teeth that come down, and then there's like another layer. So we could probably, you know, I really don't. If I'm gonna do small teeth like how they have it, or if I'm gonna do big teeth. Kind of takes away from that chainsaw feel. Not really feeling those teeth. Or if we do some where it's just kind of like regular teeth, and we got some sharp teeth in the back. Looks kind of weird. And this is pretty much how it is in the anime. It's kind of like he has these pointy teeth like that. So, like, we might not be able to redesign everything. If some things make more sense, then it just make more sense, you know. It's like, it's nothing you could really do sometimes. The other thing that's important is like this would actually be longer than this bottom part. These are too close. These are too close together. I'll probably have to fix it in Photoshop. I'm not sure how to fix it in this program because I don't do those fixaroos in this. I could try though, but let me see if I can. We'll probably mess it up, but let's see. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's not it. See, I don't do these kind of things in this program. Oh, this is a balloon. I thought it was like a lasso tool. Here's a selection tool, actually. Oh my goodness, I did not want to do that. It's a mess. Delete, strength, invert. I don't know. Let me just try the selection one more time. And Control T. Yeah, this isn't working like how Photoshop works. Let me see something. It's cool. I'll save it for getting a little too caught up on it. This is still like the first version. This is literally version 1, so I could take this into Photoshop afterwards, fix it. I'm not like, it's not the end of the world. I wonder if I can make my canvas bigger. I'm not sure. I just want to make my canvas bigger so I can expand this chainsaw, but I'm not sure if that's a possibility. I don't. It's fine. I don't want to get caught up on it. I'd rather get caught up on other things. Yeah, so maybe like this would be red. And maybe we might even put like, you know, stretched skin or something, and then, you know, this would be muscle exposed, muscles, or I don't know, muscles exposed, neck muscles exposed. Again, this doesn't have to be pretty. It needs to just guide you. Really, it needs to guide you when you sculpt. That's all it really needs to do. It doesn't have to be the best drawing ever made or anything like that, but it needs to guide you. I wonder if we can bring this in where it's... This would be the inner portion, and then this would be the other portion. Maybe we have that kind of circle repeating here. Really, this is a side shot. You won't even see it in this shot. And we kind of fill in this area with veins, and you know, this is kind of like what it is, right? And then I need to figure out how to get the pistons in there because it's not really working too well, but it's fine. So this is supposed to be like the handle. But maybe realistically it would be like that or something, I don't know. It's just the first draft anyway, so. Alright, so we got a little motor in here. Maybe we even have like a gears, I don't not even sure. Like gear spinning. I don't know if those shapes really work in this. Or cogwheels or something. Or maybe we see a portion of a cogwheel. If we had like, what if this big area was a cogwheel? Oh, it's a crappy cogwheel. Maybe we'll keep this. You know, put some screws in there, something. And then this would kind of be like you would see the other side, and you would kind of see like the same thing happening over there. On the other side, there would be like another pulley system to open and close his jowl, more or less. And back here, you would see more of those teeth here. Oops. Not sure what else to do inside of here. All right, so this is kind of the musculature of the neck, and then maybe we have another cross piece here, which is a piston. And that goes into something else here. Not sure how I feel about that. And this piece is kind of simple, right? So maybe we can just add some cuts in there, and that might make it look a little better. This we can put, maybe we can put a red eye here. Red eyes where the holes are. It's possible. Okay. I think this is good for the first head. Now I'm going to do another one, and what I'll probably do is just I usually make a lot of layers, so I think what I should do first probably is just to isolate the good from the bad in a sense. So all this we can kind of cut out. So I'll just Control X that. Oops. And then I'll create a new layer. It's a folder actually. This one's a new. It's a new raster. Yeah, new raster layer. And we can just paste that in there. Get rid of this folder. Delete layer. It says delete layer, but it's a folder, so go figure. Let's see if I can rename this. Just scrap or whatever. Concept. This one's so concept head. And what is this? There's nothing in this. Oh, this is just a new layer. Alright, so just we got our scrap, get rid of that. Alright, so we got that. Then on layer 2 we can start a new one. And maybe I'll keep layer 1 open as a I don't know if I should keep it open as a reference or not, but we'll keep it open for now. Let me see here. Sorry about that. Somebody had texted me. All right, so let's get started on the next one here. I'm just trying to think about what we can do different on this one. All right, so I did have an idea of like kind of like the half and half kind of deal. I don't know if it's going to look good or not. I mean, I don't even know if it's worth it. You know, I don't even know if like we could try a front shot maybe. It's kind of like what, like a two-face kind of thing, right? And then it would be in. I don't think it would work. I think it would look too out there, personally. But I'm gonna try it out. Nah, I don't think it's gonna work. And it's like, how are we gonna do the chainsaw in the middle? We'll have to cut it right down the middle. Yeah, I'm gonna scrap that. I wanted to do like a two-face thing, but I don't think it will work. Yeah, it's not gonna work. No, we're gonna scrap that idea. See, it's easier to see if an idea will work when you sketch it out versus sculpting it, spending 3 days on it, and be like, this isn't working. So let's see here. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Trying to muffle it. All right. Round 2. Let's do it. So I'm trying to think what I could do differently to sell this. So I'm gonna go by just by looking at it and just creating what I want this time around. Trying to do like a cog, but it's a crappy cog. So maybe some kind of gears. And then there's a belt system here. I don't know if we can lose the belt system. I think the pulley system's here to stay on this project at this point. So I'm going to do a little bit different shape here. Make like a massive kind of head on this one. Maybe this might be a little bit too massive, but that's fine. We could try it out, see what works. Little screw holes. I keep running out of room for to make the chainsaw on all these things. And I blame it on the fact that I draw too big. It's fine now. So in this one, we're kind of working with more cog type shapes. That's what I'm trying to do, something like that. Just suggest a detail on how that's working. Right, and then here we got something up. We got just a bunch of mechanical pieces kind of spinning and doing what they want to do. I'm not really feeling it too much, but it's okay. I want to put the handle backwards a little bit here. Like that, yeah. Trying to get that angle in there. I'm drawing this as kind of like a guide, like, so I know where the neck is. I know this is pretty much the neck region, right? Once I know that, it kind of helps me a little bit. I feel like maybe I made this lower jaw a little bit too small. So what if we did something like this to it? Might have to redraw it, really. I'm gonna have to redraw this lower jaw. I'm thinking, you know what? Let me redraw it. Where's the eraser? Oh, here it is. Should probably learn keyboard shortcuts for this program. That looks a little better. Maybe kind of make it. It's going into his actual skin here. And just trying something different, making a maze of stuff. Then switching up it, make it a little bit more organic. And we got another handle here. And I'll make it like a little plug thing here. Kind of hooks into there. We have no room for the chainsaw, but it's okay. We know there's a chainsaw there, so we'll kind of indicate it like that for now. Eh, you know. You know. So far, I mean, the first concept I'm really liking. It looks more believable. I was trying something with the cogs, but maybe I probably have to get some more reference if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. It'll look. I feel like too with the cogs, it's gonna look too steampunkish, and not really going for steampunkish. So might have to scrap that one altogether. probably just throw that over here for now. Make it a little smaller. This original kind, maybe I'll make that a little smaller too. So I can fit a couple on the page. The only thing I was missing on this is the handle. The handle, it wouldn't be too hard to do in 3D, so maybe I could save it for later. I'm not sure. Alright, let's do another one here. So let's try something here. Let me see if I can try to sketch out this whole thing first. It's kind of like a dinosaur. Really. I don't know why this went to white. That's so weird. But yeah, it's kind of like a dinosaur. Let's see here. Oops, it's not exactly the kind of shape I want it. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I don't want it that far down though. Maybe on that one. A little better. Now I'm not really looking at too much reference this time. I'm trying to feel it. I don't know how to explain that, but I'm just trying to go what my gut and see if I can get something that looks good. It's kind of interesting. Has a sleek kind of look to it, you know. There's another one here. We could probably make his chainsaw longer. It's not. I guess I don't know. It is important, but it's not like super important. There's not much I can do with this. Yeah. Try to see if I can get one more out here. The shapes are very spiky, right? So the shape language is spiky. There's not really a lot of circular shapes. It's more of it's sharp, hard, spiky, dangerous, you know, meat grinder kind of shapes. I'm not feeling that shape there. I'm trying to work with more triangular shapes and see what we can get. I'm doing a test by building this like straight up triangles. So if we make this like really triangular, you can see we can get some cool results just by messing with a lot of triangles, you know, in our design for like the kind of shapes that we're going for, you know, shape language wise. But now the only thing I'm missing out on is the mechanical parts, you know, that we might want to be able to use to tell a story. So we got to figure out how to incorporate that in there. Yeah, so these shapes, they're not welcoming shapes, right? If you see something sharp like this, you're not going to stick your finger near it, right? So, and that's why all these shapes are triangular. If they were circular, you know, it'd be more like a Kirby's Kirby's Adventure. It'll be a little safer. Yeah, I mean, so far the first one's definitely the one I was feeling the most. Now, the Chainsaw Man has the chainsaws literally kind of rip through his skin, as you can see here. So it's gonna be kind of crazy to try to make that look convincing. I may keep it as is. There's the his pull chain thing. I'm gonna save this image real quick. Oops. I think I want to export. Export as JPEG. What I'm doing, I'm just exporting the image so that I can use the image. You know, now I can basically use my own reference, you know, which is always good. And I think I'm comfortable enough to start on it. So yeah, let's do that. Let's try to start on it. Just gotta wait for the program to open. I'll be right back. Alright, yeah, so let's get working here. So yeah, we're gonna open ZBrush. I usually just start with a Dynamesh sphere. It really, honestly, it doesn't matter what you start with, I feel like. Well, it does, but in my case, it doesn't really matter. Not for this, at least. I'm just testing my brush to make sure I got pen pressure. Pen pressure sensitivity. Let's see here. There's a lot of primitive shapes that you can start with, like a cube, a sphere, a grid. I don't know what the grid is, but that's just a flat grid. Cylinder. Right, so in my case, I'm going to start with the cylinder. And this guy shows you your orientation, so this would be the side of our chainsaw man, right? So we're good. And if you go like here, you can see what the polyframe is on that. And I'm going to be doing a mixture of looking at my reference and then looking at, you know, these things too. So I want to have them close so I can pull bits and pieces from it. But you know, I don't have to do like the whole thing, you know. Okay, so we'll do a pulley system. We'll have this kind of thing on both sides. So back to this. So yeah, this is a primitive. So this is initialization. So you can add, like, you know, more resolution to this. I don't know why it's not doing that, but it's probably me doing something wrong. Oh, there it goes. Now it just add a crazy amount of resolution. You don't want to start with a crazy amount of resolution like this. It's going to be harder to control. So you can see how crazy that looks. It's pretty out there. So we'll go back to a cube. Too much. So even if we just do a 1, 1, 1, we get a simple cube. So that's a simpler geometry. And then this is supposed to be the cylinder, but there's actually not enough to make it a cylinder. See that? So we can bump these up to 2 and then hit the button, and then boom, you can see now there's a little bit more information there. Right, I think I can just use my Z modeler tool from that. So I just press the brush button and then go Z modeler. So go like that, press the Z, and go Z modeler. Yep, and then you can paint. Oops. I think by holding Alt, you can paint down areas that you want to manipulate, basically, and then you can pull things out. So you can see here, see I can pull these out. Yeah, so maybe I'll just give it. Oops. Maybe I'll give it a little bevel here. Maybe I'll do a little better. I'll do right there. I don't want to pull it out like that, man. Real funny. Alright. So maybe pull something out here. I'm holding Alt and then I'm clicking and then I'm just... We have something like that now. You could do this part with the mouse because you're not really sculpting. You're really doing like kind of mechanical work. So he says this says Q mesh a poly. So you see what Q mesh does. It kind of pulls, it extrudes out the mesh, right? So I'm gonna hold Alt and I'm gonna click this. And I don't want a Q mesh. I actually want to do an inset like that. Okay. So I want to do an inset. And now I'm going to hold Alt. And I don't want to do an inset. I want to do a Q mesh now. Oops. So I can pull that. I can pull this piece out for the motor. And I'm probably going to pull it. I wonder if I just pull it like that first. I hate that it does. I don't know why it does that. But it's fine. So we'll hold Alt. We'll pull this piece out. And Alt. Pull this piece out. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to do an inset. So I'm holding spacebar and then I'm clicking to do an inset. An inset does like something like this, right? So you can like, I could pull these out individually or whatever. So I'm going to hold Alt, grab these, and do an inset. Like so. So maybe I'll do an inset like here. Okay. Now grab these. We'll do a Q mesh. Pull this out. And then in the middle, I want to do like a circle. I think to do that, so you got to hover over until you get the dot, and then you press space. And yeah, I'm not sure which one it is, to be honest. I think it's not that one. It's not Q mesh. Maybe it's extrude. But extrude just extrudes the pieces out, so it's not that. It's not that. You know what? I think I need to just do another inset. Yeah, it's just, I'm just being dumb. Alright, so I just need to do another inset. And now we can do an extrude, which is a Q mesh. It's called a Q mesh. And we need some thickness for this. So the reason why I do lines on these pieces is because these edges will keep the shape, will help it maintain its shape. Because without those edges, it would just be very smooth. The surface would be smooth, and you know that might not necessarily be what we want. So, oh man, I messed up on that one. It's fine. Alright, so then we got this thing going on here, like maybe it goes out to there. Oops. Oops, that's not what we want. Trying to do a shift edge, which is this. Nope, that's not what we want. See, you can highlight different areas. So this is the poly. The poly is like the square. I probably should explain that first, right? So a poly is a square, which is this, and you see it highlights in red. And when you hold spacebar, you get options for that. And then the edge is here. And when you hold spacebar, you get options for edges only. And then you got your points, which is right here, the red dot, which is called vertices, you know, most programming languages. And then if you hold spacebar, you get stuff for that. So those are pretty much what you have to work with ZBrush. I'm holding Alt and I'm clicking these. I'm just trying to see if I can add one more edge to this. Where is, oh, edge loop, maybe that's what it is. Oh, man. What did it do? Oh, it's adding an edge, okay. It's not what we want though. Whoa, actually that's not what we want either. So I don't use these too much, this stuff. I use it sometimes, but not really. But yeah, I mean, if you just kind of mess with them, it'll tell you what it does. That we don't want. I ain't gonna go crazy over it, man, to be honest. You can hold Alt to deselect as well. Alright, that's fine. And then now we do an inset. So that has, this will help it keep its shape. And I'll do one more inset. And this time we'll do an inset like inwards. And then we'll do a hold Alt. And then we'll do an extrude, but we'll extrude inwards. And give me a second. Actually, I think I'm still in inset. Yeah, I'm in inset. You gotta go to Q mesh and just push that inwards. Alright, so we'll go here. And we'll kind of just push that inwards. Alright, so this is kind of what we have here. Alright, and then there's pieces that run here. I wonder, how we can get those pieces working. Oops. Yeah, I think an inset is going to work for us here. So we'll do an inset, and what we'll do is I'm gonna highlight all these here. Oops. All right, so I'm doing insert poly loops to poly, which is kind of confusing, but basically if I just keep dragging upwards, I'm gonna get crazy amount of this stuff. I don't want too many. I think I want that many. Oops. And then I want to Q mesh. Then I just want to Q mesh those pieces. So what I got to do now is I got to literally, alt click on these areas. Oops. I could probably model this too in 3ds Max. I just but I want to see how far I can get with ZModeler, because to be honest with you, I don't use ZModeler a lot, but it can definitely do some stuff. I think this is good. All right. And again, we're working on the motor piece on his head. Oops, I just clicked the wrong thing here. The motor piece on his head. I just gotta double check, make sure I didn't mess up here. Looks good. Alright, I think that's good. Alright, so really what we got going on here is pretty much this. This is the piece that we have. And we work with the poly groups on so that we can easily see what we're doing. So that's why I put that on there. But yeah, this is the piece that we kind of have. All right, so that's what we have so far. And probably a good time. Save. Now we can do some. I believe we can do dynamic subdivision, if I'm not mistaken. So if we turn dynamic on, we can see how this will look if subdivision was applied to this. And what you'll notice is that this isn't really holding its shape as well as we want it to. You see what it's doing here? It don't look as hot as it could. Oops. All right, so we can turn that on and off. Oh, I know, but I know why it's not. The reason why it's not holding this shape is because we didn't put an edge loop. We need to add a crease like an edge loop. If we click crease polygroup border, that may help us as well. So I'm going to try that. And now I'm going to click dynamic subdivision. Didn't help us. It's fine though. I'm just going to take that off for a second. So let's do this first. Let's just save what we have. Alright, so we just saved that. I'm just going to turn this on again. How many levels of the quick grid based subdivision, dynamic subdivision? Not sure what flat and smooth subdivision is, but so dynamic subdivision could fix this too, it looks like. But that's kind of like the look that we're going for. Something like that. Kind of stops right there. And this is non-destructive, by the way, meaning like, you know, I could just add and delete subdivision levels, and that's how you subdivide your mesh basically, without you know, without affecting the actual geometry right now. So this is a non-destructive way of working. It's kind of a preview, you know, of how things will look when you subdivide your mesh. So this is how it looks right now, and then if you subdivide it, this is how it could potentially look, basically. So I want to show you, if I was to take the same thing and duplicate it, and then hide, we'll hide the top one by clicking here. So we have this. Now if I control D, this is subdivision. So this is actual subdivision. So now you can see I have a level subdivision here. This is not dynamic subdivision. This is actually affecting the mesh. Okay, so this just affected the mesh. So I could do it a few times and kind of left with something like that, which may or may not be, you know, what we want, but now it's just a matter of figure out, is this, you know, the way I want the piece to be or not, more or less. I'm just undoing what I did. Alright, so let's delete this one for now. And we're back to our original here. Insert poly loops. That's what we wanted. That's what we need. Not that way though. Yeah, I need a poly loop, but I need it to loop all the way around. Just doing a test. Looks the same, right? It's not, I don't want it to go this way. I want it to go the other way. Oops. Sometimes meshes just need a little bit more geometry too, so they don't break. I don't need this. I don't need happening on everything. Give me a sec. Let me just figure out what I'm trying to figure out here. Is it bridge, crease? Maybe it's crease, isn't it? No. Crease will probably just put a crease up top. I don't think crease would fix my problem though. Alright, so if I crease this and then do dynamic, take off all this extra. Let's just try. Crease is not the answer. I wonder if I can take, I probably could take this in a 3D program and work on it more. Because there's stuff I want to do, but I don't know how to do it in this program. I don't know if I have my my other program installed on here. I think it's on my other computer. But that's fine. Still increase. I think poly loops is what we want, but I don't want it on everything. So, trying to see, is there a way, is it slide? Ah, slide. So we want to slide the edge loop. Yeah, okay. So we could slide the edge loop, so maybe we'll just do that. Oops. Crap, let me just find out how to add an edge loop. Be here all day trying to figure this out. ZBrush. Yeah, I don't really want to watch a video on it. I'm gonna have to figure out. It's been a minute. I'll do it later. I don't want to get caught up on it. It's fine. Let's we'll continue on for now. The show must go on. Right, so we have one subtool here. We can append a new one. I'll just append the spear, and then I'll take the spear and I will go to initialize. I'll make it a cylinder, and I will basically kind of offset that. Oops. Oops. Yeah, so I just duplicated that piece, adding another piece here. I clicked this button, by the way, to see like how it renders with shadows and stuff. For this piece, I'm just going to do a little something. Oops. A little simpler. Sorry, I keep clicking the wrong button. If you can't see what you're doing, you just go to solo mode, click solo, and then you can see the pieces, and then unclick solo, and bam. Also, we should break the hard edges so we can catch the light. Probably should have did that before, but what that means is like you do this basically. So instead of having an edge like this, so it can catch the light, you go like that. We would do edge loop complete. See that? Edge loop complete. We'll do the full edge loop. think it's insert poly loops. Yeah, insert poly loops. Again, hold down Alt, click, click. Just putting this back in solo mode again so I can see what I'm doing. Huh. Did I missed one? I missed the side when I did that. Oh, that sucks. Trying to see if there's a way to get this. Let me put a little hole there. I'm gonna append a ring, but I don't know if I'm gonna use it. Just click Control Z if you get like a weird result. Just click Control Z. Trying to get the piece here. Guys, I gotta go. I'm gonna continue this later on this week, probably. Trying to think of what would this piece be here? Could use this and then cut it in half. Let me see. We use a move brush here, and Ooh. I'm not sure why the mesh got messed up when I moved it, but let me try. Let's see here. Huh. The pulley is going to kind of be a, we could probably duplicate the circle for the pulley. It's kind of like a block out. Trying to see the best way to pull this. I have the AccuCurve, which makes it pointy. I'm going to take that AccuCurve off. Use Subtool Master and try to mirror it on the other side here. Cool. I'm gonna go to sleep for real now. I got work early. Oops. If you take the perspective mode out, it's easier to line things up. Oops. Yeah, we're getting there. These pieces are just kind of placeholders. We'll finish it next time. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. We'll continue on next time on the Chainsaw Man. Cool, peace.